So the thyroid is the master gland. So it's located in your throat. It's a butterfly-shaped gland in your throat, and it runs your entire body. So it gives you a metabolism in order to burn fat and stay at a healthy weight. It gives you energy, the ability to grow your hair, strengthen your nails, improve your mood. Without thyroid hormone being optimal, you will feel horrible, because thyroid is so important for every single cell in your body to function as it should. Millions of Americans are going undiagnosed. So we know it's a very, it's a disease that affects a multitude of people, millions of people, and it affects women more than men. And what will happen, and I see this in my patients all the time, what will happen is you'll start to get symptoms first. So you'll get weight gain. You won't be able to lose weight no matter what you do. You'll have extreme fatigue, you can't even understand why you're so tired. You'll say to yourself, well, I got a good night's sleep, and I know I'm eating well and I'm exercising, and why is this happening to me? And then moods will shift. You'll lose your hair. Your skin will become dry. You may or may not be constipated. There's a whole host of symptoms that go along with it. And normally my patients will notice those symptoms first. And then what will happen is they'll go to their doctor. They'll go to their general practitioner, their PCP, family doctor, and say, you know what? I'm dealing with all of these symptoms. What do I do now? And your doctor may or may not test your thyroid. And if he or she does, 9 times out of 10 in conventional medicine, they will test TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, and they'll test free T4. Now, those two tests don't give us that full picture of what's going on with your thyroid. So the TSH might come back in the quote unquote normal range, within standard lab value range, within normal limits. And your conventional medicine doctor is not looking to see whether or not those numbers are optimal or not. And then the free T4 will come back and it'll be within normal limits, and they'll call it a day. They'll send you on your way. And then that patient moves on and goes, well, I guess I'm normal. Maybe I'm just getting older. Or their doctor will tell them, I'm sorry, maybe you just need to eat less and exercise more because your numbers look fine. And they go along their way and they're sad and they cry in their car like I did. And when I was misdiagnosed, and they'll think that something is wrong with them. Like it's something they're doing. Maybe I need to eat less and exercise more. Maybe I'm just getting older. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just need to deal with these symptoms. And then they might try another doctor and they go, I'm going to find an answer to why I feel this way. And they'll try the next doctor and the next doctor. And they might even see specialists or endocrinologists. And they keep getting the same answer over and over again, that they are normal. And all they need to do is eat less and exercise more to deal with the symptoms that they're bringing to their doctor. So that's what happens in the beginning. Well, what's interesting is we know that 95% of thyroid disease is Hashimoto's, and that's the autoimmune form of hypothyroidism. So that's when your body is actually attacking your thyroid. And we know with any autoimmune, it's going to present itself under a certain stress. Now, normally we think of stress as, I lost my job, or the kids are driving me crazy. But it could be something as simple as the 3 Ps: puberty, pregnancy, perimenopause. So all of those hormonal shifts in a woman can turn that light switch on, turn that autoimmune switch on, to where that's when they start to see the effects of their autoimmune condition, or when Hashimoto's presents itself, when their immune system begins attacking their thyroid. And with an attack on the thyroid, obviously you are going to start experiencing those symptoms that we just talked about, because your thyroid's not going to work properly. So any hormonal change is when we really see it kind of show up in a woman's life. So very much. I have PCOS and hypothyroidism as well. I see it so often in my female patients that they will have the hypothyroidism diagnosis or will find it. And then, you start digging, you start really looking into the different hormones and looking at their symptoms. And you also find PCOS. And maybe they even know that they had it. And that's what was diagnosed first, maybe back in their teens and 20s. They were put on birth control for it and symptoms never got better. And then all the while they were dealing with an undiagnosed thyroid problem that went hand in hand with that PCOS. be hypo or hyper. So when I say Hashimoto's, that is the autoimmune form of hypo, meaning low. Hypo means low. That's the autoimmune form of low thyroid function. And then Graves' disease is the autoimmune form of hyper, meaning hyperactive, overacting. Graves is the autoimmune form of the hyperthyroidism. They are. Hyperthyroidism is a little bit more rare. Graves' disease is a little bit more rare, but we do see it. And what will happen oftentimes is someone presenting with Graves' disease. That's where you see the bulging eyes, extreme weight loss, irritability, anxiety, insomnia. All of those kind of go along with hyperthyroidism / Graves' disease. But Graves' disease patients always swing. So if let's say you're a Graves' disease patient, you've been diagnosed, you will be put on a thyroid suppressing medication, something like, I can't think of the name of it right now. Yeah, I'm totally blanking, but you will be put on a thyroid suppressive medication, and that will inevitably push you into a hypo state. So my poor Graves' disease patients, they just swing. They're on this pendulum swing. And a lot of times once they get to me, they've already had a total thyroidectomy or radioactive iodine to destroy their thyroid. And now we are starting at the bottom, getting their medication that they need, that you have to be on. You cannot live without a thyroid. You cannot live without thyroid hormone. So when we destroy your thyroid or take it out, we have to replace it with the proper amount of thyroid medication. And that's where conventional medicine can drop the ball and leave people in a hypo state with all of those symptoms because they're not adjusting the medication properly and they're not doing the thyroid testing that we need to do that we just talked about. So that's where everything kind of ties together.